Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Well, in this video, I would like to share with all of you how are we going to create any component or part by using lofted boss or base. Lofted boss, or also known as lofted base, falls under features tab. Okay, and it is actually look like this. Okay, this is the icon. Okay, the command icon for the lofted boss or base. So let's get started. First, I'm going to pick my top plane as my sketch plane, right? And I'm going to pick my center rectangle, and I'm going to start at the this origin, and I'm going to indicate the dimensions for this line or this edge with, let's say, I'm going to make it 100. Whereas for this side or this edge, I'm going to indicate 100 as well, right? And for your information, if you are going to use lofted boss or lofted base, you need to have two profiles, or more than one profiles. It is not necessary to have two profiles. It can be three, it can be four. It means that it should have more than one profiles. Okay, so this is our first profile. So once after you have already created your first profile, you no need to go to features and straight away go to here. Even if you can see over here, the command icon for the lofted boss or base is still off. Okay, it's not enabled yet. All right. So that's why once after you already finish created your first profile, you need to exit from the sketch by bring your cursor to here. Okay, don't pick this one cancel, discard from this sketch. So you need to exit from this sketch by pressing this one, by choosing this one. Okay, so click this one, right? So I'm going to switch to the isometric view. So as you can see over here, under your manager design tree, this sketch one, which is the sketch which I created just now, all right, already appeared under this manager design tree. So I'm going to create another one more sketch, one more profile, which is located on top of this first sketch. So definitely I need to use my additional plane. Okay, I need to create my additional sketch plane on top of this sketch, right? So from the previous video, I've already showed to you how can we use this reference plane. So by click this one, and I'm going to choose plane, right? So as you can see over here, the first reference is actually your reference plane, which is your reference plane. In order to create your additional plane or additional sketch plane, you need to have reference plane. Okay, it based from which plane? Okay, so it means that my reference plane is, I'm going to expand this arrow. I'm going to pick my top plane. I'm not going to pick front plane. Kalau front plane, kalau let's I pick front plane, dia akan pergi ke sini lah. Okay, it will create on the left side or on the other side, which is right side. If I pick right plane like this, okay, it will either create my new plane at this side or the other side. So since I did mention that just now that I'm going to create my new sketch plane on top of the sketch, so I'm going to select my top plane as my reference plane. All right, so I'm going to pick this one. All right, there you are. So I'm going to use the distance. So I'm going to, for the time being, the blue one, okay, the blue one is actually indicates my new sketch plane, my reference, my plane that I'm going to use. Okay, whereas my top plane is actually my reference plane. Okay, now as you can see over here, okay, the distance for the time being, the distance between my new sketch plane here to this plane, top plane, which is my reference plane, is 10 mm, the height, the distance. So I'm going to increase it, but probably I'm going to make it 80 mm like that. So it means that the distance from here to here, the height, okay, from here to here is 80 mm, right? You may have more than one planes with equal distance, which is 80. Let's say this is one, right? So let's say I'm going to make it I'm going to add another two more additional planes or additional sketch planes with equal height or equal distance, which is 80. So I just need to pick this one. Okay, this one, right? Ini satu saja, this is only one only. So I'm going to pick another one. This is 2, this is 3, whereby the distance from here to here is 80, from here to here is 80, and also from here to here is 80 mm, the distance or the length or the height. Okay. However, in this particular case, I just would like to use only one additional plane. So after once confirm already this one, I just need to click OK. Okay, there you are. So even under your manager design tree, it's stated over plane 1. Okay, they already created for you, okay, the plane 1. So now it's time for me to choose plane 1 as my sketch plane. So I'm going to pick the plane 1 and go to sketch and sketch, and then I'm going to pick normal 2, right? And then I'm going this time, let's say okay, I'm going to use circle. So I'm going to start at this origin, and might probably the diameter berapa okay, let's say I'm going to make 80 as well. Okay, 80 mm, right? Okay, again, that's what I did mention to you previously, that in order to create or to use lofted boss command, we need to have more than 2 profiles. So I do now already have one, and another one is this one, 2. Okay, I mean two sketches, 2 profiles. Okay, so once after I already created my second profile or my second sketch, so what I need to do is that I just need to exit from the sketch first. Okay, so now this plane 1, I can just simply hide it. Okay, pick this one, right click, and then go to hide here. Okay, now as you can see over here, okay, the lofted boss base icon command already appeared. It's already on. It's already enabled. Okay, so means that now it's time for you to use this particular command. So let's try it. So I pick this one, my the lofted boss base icon, and my profiles. Don't bother about the guide curve first. Okay, I just would like to focus on the profile first, because later on I will provide or I will add few guidelines, and I will show to you what's the difference between without using any guide curves and also with the guide curves. All right. So make sure you pick this one and make sure this blocks is blue in color. So let's say I'm going to pick the first one is this one, and the second one is this one. It's almost similar like AutoCAD, if you still remember loft. Okay, lofted boss of lofted piece. However, in AutoCAD they just mention loft only. All right, in SolidWorks they add boss and stroke base. All right, so basically as you can see over here, it will looks like this. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you refer to this, the top one and also the bottom one, as well as on the top surface like this, they do have the green dotted. Okay, okay, the dotted with green color. So you can play around with this. You can move. Okay, you can move and you can play around with these green dotted. Uh, point, okay, this point, okay, I can say that, let's say this is point, I just mention this as a point. So you can just pick this one, you can play around along this circle parameters, the parameters of these circles, right? So let's say if you want to stop here, you see it will twist a bit. If you want to have more, so you just bring it and play around until the maximum. Okay, let's say we try to find out which point or which point is the maximum. Okay, still can play around with the twist. Okay, so no more. So means that if let's say the preview can't show anymore or about the lofted body. So it means that uh, uh, the points is end over there. So it means that you have to bring it a bit backwards so that it can appear like this. Right. So if I click OK, there you are. Okay. You will twist it like that. All right. So I'm going to edit this one because I would like to show you a few more. Okay. Even okay. Even you can bring back to the original place. You can just simply bring back to original place. Okay. Going to edit this again. Okay, I'm going to bring this one to the original place. So this one I'm going to pick here, or even the bottom one, you can move it over somewhere around here. Okay, so this one I'm going to make sure that you can play around. Even to the blue dotted also you can play around. Okay, you can have this one, same as with the green one. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, so I'm going to move it somewhere around here a bit. And even you can make the top view in order to to play around so that you can have like that. All right, so okay, there you are. All right, okay, so even this one, okay, you can play around with this one also. See, or this one no, cannot anymore, so you have to make it over here. So this is the maximum point for the bottom one that it can go lah. Okay, this point can go. If you go to here, this point, see, it can provide any, it can shows the body of the lofted boss. Okay, now let's say I'm going to add a few, for example, few gut curves. All right, so I'm going to create new one. So let's see, okay. So let's say I'm going to create a guidelines at this side, and also this side together. This means the all four side, all four sides of this particular square sketch. I'm going to create the with the guidelines. Okay, so in this particular case, I'm going to pick my front plane as my sketch plane. Okay, and I'm going to make it normal too. And as you can see over here, I'm going to create, let's say I'm using spline. Make sure that you pick, okay, until the yellow intersection symbol appear, as you can see over here. Okay, let's say this one, nothing, you don't have anything. So once after, okay, there you are. So that yellow symbols means that intersection. So it's an intersection point, all right? So you just pick here, and then let's say I just simply create something like this, let's say for example, and I'm going to end it over here. Same as well. You have to make sure that until that intersection point, the yellow symbol appear, then you can click, all right? So press escape. And then for the spline, as you know that the spline can play around with the points here. Okay, you can play around with the points. Even if, let's say, if you want to add another point, one point over here on this particular of spline, you can just bring your cursor to here, right click, and then you go to insert spline point. Okay, insert spline point, and then you just pick somewhere around here. Let's say just now, as what I mentioned, I would like to create another, or I would like to add another one more point around here, right? So I just simply pick over there, right? And then there you are, right? So I can just simply play around with that particular of points. Okay. So let's say for this side, I'm going to have like this kind of shape, right? All right. Now, once after you already created this one, you have to exit from the sketch. If you like to create another one, it means that you need to create the guide curves one by one. Okay, once after you create one, then you have to exit from the sketch, and then you need to proceed to the next one. Okay, so you have to do one by one. You can't have guidelines on the same plane, okay, on the same sketch. Okay, so let's say I'm going to pick another again front plane as my sketch plane. And then I'm going to create another one more guide curve somewhere around here. You can use others as well. You can use line, you can use even the 3-point arc, but since I would like to have a curvy shape, so I'm going to use spline. Okay, again, make sure that this point, let's say I'm going to have this one here, and like that. Okay, so I'm going to have some sort like that, right? Okay, now again, I'm going to exit. Now it's time for me to create uh, the guide curve at this side, both sides here. So in that case, I'm going to pick my right plane as my sketch plane. And then I'm going to have this spline. Let's say this time I'm going to have like that. Okay, right. Let's say like that. Okay, now that's it. And I'm going to have another one more. I'm going to pick again right plane, sketch, normal 2. And then I'm going to create something like this. There. So let's say I just would like to have like that, this kind of curve, and then select exit from the sketch. So now we do have 4 guide planes, as you can see over here at all 4 edges. Okay. Now we can proceed with our lofted boss or base. Pick this one, and then profiles. Which one is our profile? Our profile is this one and also this one. If you still remember, okay, both of these sketches are our profiles. Whereas for guide curve, okay, you need to bring your cursor and click at this area. Make sure it's turned from white to blue color, this box, okay, this area. And then let's say I'm going to pick this side and this side first, all right? So if I pick this one over here, as you can see over here, it will skew, okay, to this side. According to this, they will follow according to this guideline. Okay, let's say if I pick here, okay, I'm going to add here another one guideline, which is this one. There you are. So it means that half of this particular body, okay, will follow this guide curve, and another half will follow this guide curve. How about this one? Okay, let's say I'm going to pick this one. Okay, again, I'm going to add this guideline. There you are, right? And also, I'm going to add also another guideline, which is this one. There you are. Okay, so it looks like that. So it means that with the guideline, you can create any shapes, okay, by using the lofted boss of base. So if I click OK, okay, there you are. So it looks like that. Okay, guys. Okay, I would like to show to you another one more example. How are we going to create any parts by using lofted boss or lofted base? So I'm going to pick my top plane as my sketch plane. And let's say this time I'm going to use, just now I already used rectangle as well as circle, but this time I'm going to use ellipse. Let's say I'm going to start from the origin, and let's see, I'm going to indicate the dimensions. Here, let's say 100, and let's see the distance from here to here. Let's say I'm going to make it 50, right? And then remember to exit from the sketch, and I'm going to create another one more plane on top of this sketch, whereby my reference plane is top, and let's say I'm going to make it 90, the distance from here to here. And let's see, I'm going to pick this my plane, my new plane is my sketch plane, and then normal 2. And then let's see, I'm going to create another one more ellipse. It's not necessary to create on this origin as well. Okay, you might shift it a bit here. Let's say I'm going to align it here, but I'm going to start my center, the center of the ellipse around here. Okay, it's not necessary to have this on the same origin. All right. So I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to indicate my dimension. Let's again same 100 and also 50 from here to here. Same dimensions, and I'm going to exit. Remember to exit from the sketch. Oh, I forgot to indicate the distance. In the sketch, I forgot to indicate the distance between this center to here. So let's say I'm going to make it 60, right? And then exit, and I can hide my plane here. And now this time, I'm going to pick my front plane as my reference plane in order to create my additional sketch plane on this side. Okay, so I'm going to go to features, reference plane. Okay, they already selected for us because just now I already selected my front plane just now for my front, but I don't want to have my plane over here. Instead of here, I would like to bring my additional plane to the other side, so I just need to flip offset. Okay, and I'm going to increase the distance from here to here. Now it's 90, so I'm going to increase it probably around 120, right? And then I'm going to pick this plane as my sketch plane and normal 2. And then I'm going to again use ellipse. Maybe somewhere around here, because later on we can indicate the dimension, don't worry. Then I'm going to indicate the dimension from here to here. The length is 100, whereas the width of this ellipse is again, I'm going to make it 50, right? Whereas the distance from here to here is, let's see, I'm going to make it 130, right? Once you have to confirm, you just need to exit from the sketch. So now, I'm going to create another one more, my last plane, which is located around here, whereby my plane 2 will act as my reference plane. So again, plane, my reference plane is this one. I'm not going to look it over here, that's what I mentioned to you just now. So I'm going to flip my offset again. The distance is 120. So I'm going to maintain the distance from plane 2 to my new additional plane, right? And now I can just simply hide my plane 2. Okay, I'm going to pick my plane 3 and sketch normal 2. And this time, probably I'm going to have something like probably rectangle, center rectangle, start from here. And let's, I'm going to make it somewhere around that. And I'm going to indicate the dimensions. Let's see, over here is 60. Whereas the length of this each is 120. And also don't forget with this height. Okay, it's already indicated all become black already, so it should be okay. So once after confirm, so just click. Don't forget to click exit, all right? But in this case, I'm going to click exit, and don't forget to hide the plane 3. There you are. Okay, now we can proceed with our lofted. Okay, lofted, boss, and you can, in this particular case, you have to choose each of these profiles or each of these sketches which have been created one by one in sequence. Instead, you can't pick this one first, this sketch first, then you go this one second, and this one third, and this one cannot. You have to follow it in sequence. Let's say if you pick the bottom one as your first sketch, so instead you have to pick this one first, next is this one, comes to this one, and the last one is this one. Let's say if you pick the rectangle sketch as your first profile, Then the second one is this one, the third one, and the final one is this one. All right. So let's say I'm going to pick the bottom one. This one is my first sketch, my first profile. This is my second profile. This is my third profile, and this is my last profile. So just okay. There you are. So it looks like that. All right. Okay. So in this case, you can apply those. Let's say I'm going to create fillet. See, I'm going to have, let's say, 5 fillet. Uh, let's see, to put somewhere around here and here. Let's click OK. All right, that. Let's see, 5 Okay, let's see. Oh, this one and this one they can't create. So I'm going to make it one by one, right? So because this one I'll make it both here and here. So I'm going to make it one by one. If cannot like that just now, so I'm going to create it one by one. This one first, and then another one more, which is this one. Okay, so okay, there you are. So if let's say if just now I combine this surface and this surface together under one fillet, if let's say cannot like that just now cannot, right? So I need to create I need to use another method whereby I have to create it one by one for the fillet. First, let's say you can choose this one or this one, and then you have to create another one more fillet for the other surfaces like that. Okay, guys. So this is how you can play around or you can develop a part or a component in 3D solid modeling in SolidWorks by using Lofted boss of base. You can try out this one, okay? And even you can play around with a lot of shapes, a lot of profiles instead of those sketches or those profiles that I've showed to you just now. So hopefully that you understand, and I will see you in our next few videos. Thank you very much.